Coming up, Vegans is a great documentary you've probably never seen of Lance Armstrong. I'll comment at the end of the doco. Check this out. It's called Road to Paris 2001, epic Nike propaganda, but I loved it. I knew Lance was on the hot sauce, but it's a great doco. Watch it, enjoy it. Just check it out. It's pretty good.
The main goal of this team and the main goal of this program is do everything what we can in terms of planning and preparation to win Tour de France. Lance, we're going with the car to until where you can ride. To prepare your clothes and some tea and stuff.
Okay.
Okay?
What if I keep going?
You can't.
Huh?
You cannot. 3 meters of snow.
On the sides?
The guy says you can. There's no way you can ride. There's no way.
Who says that?
Very simple, but later to make it happen was not so simple.
A physical and mental delivery here by Lance Armstrong. 5.5 hours he's been pedaling today.
Like other teams, they didn't understand what exactly we were going to do when we said we are going to prepare for the Tour de France. What are you? Who is going to be our leader? I say Lance Armstrong, but he cannot climb. They say.
And he's accelerated, he's out of the saddle, sprinting up this climb now.
If you keep going, you can take the jersey, yeah? If you keep going, you can take the jersey, yeah?
Lance Armstrong, as the clock ticks down, is racing to the yellow jersey of the Tour de France.
Yes!
He was the first man last year to go. It's certainly one of the biggest fairy tales this race has ever produced. A man that really was only given a 20% chance of living because of cancer is now tearing the field apart in the Tour de France. And it's a long time since we've seen a performance like this.
Basically, I like doing the job. I enjoy it. I enjoy the travel. I enjoy the sacrifice. But I really enjoy just constantly seeing if it's going to continue to work. I mean, to me, that's fascinating that we have this template and we can just continue to run it over and over and over again and train hard and make sacrifices and you know, just in the name of sport, just to try and win the biggest and the best bike race in the world year after year after year.
As many of you know, it's been a trying winter for me and my U.S. Postal Service cycling team. In November of last year, a formal investigation was launched into our team regarding the alleged use of performance-enhancing drugs. I'm very happy to report today that we have received confirmation that the results of the testing of our urine samples have proven to be negative. To be clear, we have learned that our urine samples did not contain EPO or any other banned substance, as we knew they would not. This investigation is going to be closed, and we're going to be proven innocent. But when we're proven innocent, and we're proven that the only thing we've taken is a bunch of hard work, and I wish we would write that story as well, and I think that's only fair. I look forward to racing again this week in France, and over the next few months, I plan to do a few other races here. And of course, on July 7th, I plan on defending my Tour de France title in pursuit of number 3.
All right, guys. I have a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With the team that we have here, every single one of us can win Circuit de la Sarthe.
Not me.
Every single one of us can win Circuit de la Sarthe.
Johan came in on the team in 1999, and he really brought in a lot of confidence. Lance never really thought he could win the Tour de France. He never truly believed he could win. And Johan came in and said, that's our objective. And he told the rest of us that we could support him in winning the Tour de France. And
he's a guy that they can respect. He's a guy that they know has ridden the Tour de France. He's been a contender at the Tour de France. He's ridden for the big teams. He's ridden for well-drilled teams. They can look at him and say, if he says it's like this, then he's talking from absolute experience.
It's hard for, I suppose, Americans and Australians to imagine this is like, besides soccer, this is the sport to watch. At the start, you can come up and get our autograph, come and talk to us, whatever. Not many big professional sports, the right fans can get so close. And you have people that you probably never remember ever talking to pull out a photo of you with them 5 years ago.
This is probably the most family-oriented sport in the world. The people come around and they have a picnic all day and they enjoy it, and they hear it, listen to it on the radio, they watch it on television, on portable televisions, and the race comes to them. Now, although they see it only maybe for 20 seconds in some cases, they love it.
So it's a 3-kilometer climb, and then we stay on small roads. We have another climb coming at 150, and then we go to the local circuit. Stefan or Lance, if you hear me, you have to help and bring that brake back, eh? Only Christian, and there's 16 guys in the front. It's not enough. It's not good, eh? There's too many good time trialists in the front. Only Christian. Let's put two guys to pull here also with those guys.
Are we gonna ride?
Hey guys, it's split in the front, so Christian is in the second part. Eh? There's 7 guys in the front and 9 guys in the back. And Christian is in the second group. We have to go on there, eh? Come on, eh? 58 seconds eh, for the 7 first guys. 58 seconds. Oh boy.
So it usually gets pretty ugly towards the end of the race, and I don't know. I think Johan, wasn't happy with the way it happened today. So I'm sure he'll want to be on the aggressive side, which is always fun.
I grew up, I was also a cyclist, and I grew up in the middle of cycling, because everybody was cycling where I live. So we know exactly, what the needs are, and this is the drinks for today during the race. This is the rice cake or apple pies, and it's all homemade stuff. All the little things. There's so much little small things all together. It counts, so it makes the difference. The little things makes the difference. Yeah. Good cake, huh? Making sure that the laundry is good done. Make sure that they have a good drink. Make sure that everything is proper and nice, and also you have to have a heart for the sport.
About yesterday, I think the team made a wrong decision to not immediately react. Once Stefan was dropped, 16 guys in the front, and even if Christian is the best of us for the moment, it's not was not a good break. I know Lance was tired because of the plane, but we were 4 other guys. Today we have to go in the brakes, and we have to have always 2 guys in the brakes. So in the beginning I would say, let's go with the brakes, and if we see that nothing happens, attack ourselves.
27 seconds for Tyler. 27 seconds for Tyler. So we pay attention now to the counter-attack.
There's kind of like a certain rhythm to the race. You know, everybody attacks in the beginning, kind of gets settled in. Maybe a small group of riders goes away, and everybody else kind of settles down. And then it's an opportunity to figure out, you know, is it going to get colder? Is it going to get warmer? Is it going to keep raining? So you'll see a lot of guys going back to the car.
The radio's not working so hot.
Sometimes one guy from a team will go around and kind of collect clothing from certain guys and then go back to the car and drop it all off and then come back with some food. And then kind of it's also an opportunity to take a piss if you feel like you have to. Because later on in the race, you don't get to do that.
Tyler.
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes on the peloton, and there's a guy, Sivakov from Big Mat.
Yeah.
He's 38 seconds behind.
No, wait.
It's better to wait. Huh? If you need something, I can give it to you now. I'm going back to the peloton, and Big Mat will stay here. If something happens, I go back to the bunch now. Guys, let's not stay in the back. Let's not stay in the back here, eh?
What has happened is you become dependent on these radios, and all of a sudden you can't think for yourself. You know, you're out there and just like brain dead.
Did he copy?
The radios suck today.
These radios suck.
You have a new one.
Huh?
You have a new one.
No, I have an old one.
Hey, I tell you, you have a new one.
Guarantee you I have an old one. It's all beat up.
It's a brand new one you have.
No.
The radios are kind of hit and miss. You know, we got some new ones.
This is not a new one.
Oh, this is not a new one. Tyler. Okay. Try that one. Yeah. Try it. Try it. Okay, I copied you. El pelotón no oyes nada?
No estoy nada.
I do not understand you.
In the beginning, everything looks a little bit hectic and problematic, and sometimes you don't see how you're going to solve a problem, but
it's mass chaos. That's why it's good that we do these kind of races before the tour, and and we get these things straightened out.
Call me on the radio if you need me.
I look back, and seriously, it was like 5 seconds later. And luckily, I got on that big guy's wheel.
Yeah, he's a big.
It's a nice draft.
I think one thing that people ignore about Lance Armstrong is that his training is much more like a track and field athlete's training. He trains for specific goals.
You know, certain things we can always upgrade. I mean, technically, I can look for speed in the wind tunnel and change my time trial bike. Or we can take the climbing bike, which is what we did last year, take it down from 9 kilos down to 7 kilos. Those are evolution. But at the end of the day, you know what's the hardest thing is? The hardest thing is to just get back to the level that you were at before.
That sucked. How was the position? Good. That was a good thing. So we can take it off? Send it? Yeah, this bike is really different.
If you've got a guy who's capable of winning the Tour de France, then you have to base your whole season around that.
Vas muy bien, vas muy bien, muy bien. Venga, 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 venga.
You have to have a team that is ready on day one for 22 days of battle.
Muy bien, Víctor, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Sigue, 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 sigue.
Hard training today. Very, very hard training. I need more condition.
Yeah.
But it's good for the Tour.
Circuit de la Sarthe was, I think, a good race for a couple of reasons. It's really only preparation, getting the rhythm, trying something out in a time trial, but in a more relaxed way. Lance was not really focused. He came back from the States, the press conference, and that always reflects on the team. If the leader is not really doing the race to win, then the motivation is not the same.
Circuit de la Sarthe is a great race. You know, beautiful race. It's a beautiful countryside and it's good journeying, but it's only Circuit de la Sarthe, and we have much bigger fish to fry.
If you start the Tour de France in July and the team hasn't had any victories at all, everybody's pretty nervous. The sponsor's nervous, the director's nervous, the bike riders are nervous. But if you've had a good campaign in the races leading up to the Tour de France, then the team is just that little bit more relaxed. The sponsors feel as if they've got their dollar's worth of publicity out of the team. So therefore, you know, the pressure is not as great as it would be as if you were going in without any score at all.
Daar ginds aan het eind van de Van Akkerenstraat ligt de aankomst. Pissiks gaat zich optrekken. Hier door het smalle gaatje gaat hij links demareren. En Matan moet niet reageren. En nu gaat die sprint op gang komen. En het is Wezenman die naar het wiel van de Pissiks moet. Pissiks heeft 10 meter. Pissiks nog altijd. Daar komt Wezenman. Wezenman is sterk. Maar ook Van Bon komt daar nog aan klampen. Van Bon komt daar naast Wezenman. Gaat Van Bon hier winnen of is het Hinkepie? Van Bon of Hinkepie? Het is Hinkepie.
George, congratulations. Nice victory, and you needed it.
I don't know if I won yet.
Yeah, you won.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we are sure.
Absoluut zeker, Karel.
How sure?
100%. It's sure, you win. You win Ghent-Wevelgem 2001, it's sure. Otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but it's the photo finish. They're looking at the photo.
Is niet
They're looking at the photo.
You don't need it, you win. Hij wil het maar niet geloven. You really win, George.
He says I won. He says he's sure, but...
You don't believe me?
if it's true, then I'm very happy. But I want to make sure.
Yeah, our commentators, they confirm it. You win.
Really? Then, yeah, that's good. I very much been needing to win. You know, my directors and the managers. It's been a long time since I won, but they really believe in me, and every race they say, George, you can win, and they make me believe. And I know that I can win. I just have to have everything right. But I hope this just confirms more victories to come. I hope.
So now you're one of the favorites for Paris-Roubaix, you know?
That's where one of my main things. Yes, of course I want to win Roubaix. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I wish you good luck for Sunday.
Guys, Let's have a toast on George. First,
for George.
Is he paid for it? It's the first victory in a classic of this team. I think in the history of US Postal, it's the first victory in a classic, although it's not a World Cup race. Let's say that Gent-Wevelgem is a big classic. So, thanks, George. And let's toast on another one on Sunday in Paris-Roubaix.
Yeah. So my title in the team is actually assistant sports director. So, but it means we have so many races. We have riders enough to do a double schedule. So it means Johan is almost all the time on the road with a part of the team around Lance, and I'm almost always on the road with the rest of the team.
I'm the only guy who's on time ever. The races are, especially up here, are very stressful. Pretty much the war zone every race we do up here, so the time we get to relax, we try to take as much advantage of it as we can.
Gentlemen, you want to sit down, brother? If you have a strong team, that is because they are friends. That makes the small thing that you need to be really good, to have a real good team.
I think this team is the most international team in the whole peloton. So we have the guys from all over the world. The American riders, they don't do this sort of club inside a team. If it's Dutch team, all the Dutch riders they're having their own club. And this team is just living like a family. We just sharing everything as a family. All victories, all losses, or whatever we do. I think it's just American mentality.
You like it or you hate it, eh? You have to be crazy about this race. You have to be mentally sure that you can do it. But most of the riders, if they see this, they are done, eh? If it rains, that'll be terrible.
The objective for a winner of Paris-Roubaix is to have the maximum riders of the team around you as far as possible.
When they come into a position of stress at a big event like the Tour de France or a big event like Paris-Roubaix, then you'll see what their weakness is. But so far they haven't been put into that position.
De la Reine des Classiques, cette épreuve a nul autre participant de cette 99e édition de Paris-Roubaix.
Alrighty.
Georgine Capi, après sa victoire dans Gent-Wevelgem, l'objectif est évidemment de convertir ses places de 4e et de 6e. Il est beaucoup cité par
At the start of a race like Paris-Roubaix, there are 10 guys who can win. It's not a race where you need good luck. It's a race where you've got to make sure you don't have any bad luck.
3 kilometers to go. We go under a bridge. We take a left. Then we have a slight uphill. And then it's becoming more narrow. So from now on, we stay there good in the front with George, everybody, yeah?
And these are very, very slippery indeed. And this only the first stretch of 24 sectors.
Looking down that long line there, somebody's gone straight down, and that looked like one of the riders from Domo.
So guys, George crashed. We have to chase, but we don't panic, eh? Don't panic.
It was like ice skating out there. After the third time I crashed, I just started laughing.
It's sort of not cycling Paris-Roubaix, it's sort of just the battle on wheels, man.
So George, it looked like I told you before, it will be a very hard one today, a very individual race. So you are in good position there. Just take once in a while your pull, not too hard, the whole thing in reserve, and you will see it. Going to be very hard today, but be confident, you are strong, man.
Come on, George. I think if it comes together, George will win the race.
It's very nervous in the peloton. Everybody's stressed. He doesn't get nervous when the peloton gets nervous. That's a part of the talent if you want to do good in this race.
Come on, guys, to the front there. We don't leave George alone there, eh?
We're back at the sharp end now, and George Hincapie of the USA is riding a brilliant race.
But you see, when you do have the form, you ride over the cobblestones so easily. Hincapie is very relaxed here. He's picking his own line over these cobblestones.
George, you're fantastic. You are fantastic, eh?
Hincapie, I think, has gone down as well there. That was Hincapie just picking himself up. Wilfred Peters is riding by him right now.
Don't panic, don't panic. Refine your tempo, eh? Don't panic. Very good, George. Very good, very good.
At the moment, and you see he's slipping all over the place.
He's slipping all over the place, Paul. You're right. He's in big trouble, George is right now.
George, don't panic. Don't panic. You're okay.
And Hincapie cannot get himself rolling at all.
Go on, George. Go on, go on. We cannot do anything. We're behind. George, don't panic. Don't panic. You're okay. Don't panic. You're very good.
George is in all sorts of difficulty now, trying to get his bike going again. I'm wondering if he's got a flat tyre.
Don't panic. You can handle this. You can handle this.
George has got a flat tyre, and there it is. This time he's taken the wheel out, and he's called up the service.
Well, there he was. It's very difficult. He was riding so well. No panic at all. He waited for the neutral service there to come up and give him a front wheel, and he's up and riding once again, but he will have lost his place in that very select group right now.
Come on, guys. Eki, Cedric, Benoit, Matthew, Tony. There is too many people in the front, eh? It's not possible that we have a guy, one of the favorites of the race, and you leave him alone there, eh? Come on, you have to go on and we have to come back.
Now they start to attack. George is he's going along.
This is the escape now, trying to chase down the leader.
George, look, listen. You are so strong. It's like there's two different races. You ride twice as fast as the other guys. So be conservative, wait your moment. You will be able to do whatever you want in the final.
And coming right up into third position is another Domo Farm Freaks rider, that's Servais Carnarvon. They've ridden off the front right now. I would have expected George to attack on the next section of cobblestones, but now he's in a very bad situation because he's got two men from the same team, the team of the leader Wilfred Peters, and they will not work with him at all.
He's speaking with him. He's speaking with him now.
Still 50 k's to go. Still 50 k's to go. Perfect, man. Yeah.
What? Yeah. Puncture. George puncture.
Hey! Zelf voor de plaats, ik moet het houden!
Lance. That's not going to work.
Hincapie's the first man to catch the lone leader, and now that just might give the little pause which requires the little slowing in the speed, and that will give Johan Museeuw a chance to come back, and that will make 6 men at the front, 4 of them belonging to one team, Domo Farm Freaks.
There are 11 kilometres left to the finish, and Servais Carnarvon has just launched an attack, and George Hincapie is chasing him.
And they will attack consistently and insistently all the way to the finish line.
George, if you have something left, we have nothing to lose anymore, eh? It's going to be a man against man here, eh?
They're trying to snap the accordion here. They're trying to get a Domo Farm Freaks rider off the front to get the victory, but Hincapie is going to try and challenge all of these moves.
Hey, come on, you're the best here. You're the best here.
in professional cycling, when you have one guy against 4, you lose. 100%. No way to win.
They're going to keep attacking all of the time, and somebody is going to catch out George Hincapie. This again looks like Cervez Carnarvon leaping off the front right now, and this is what the guys from Domo Farm Frites are trying to do. They're trying to isolate the rider off the front. They're trying to keep George Hincapie in the back.
Our team lost the race in the first part until the first cobble section, so there's not so much we can say about that. There has been crashes, there has been punctures. That's not really an excuse because everybody had punctures and crashes.
There's George Hincapie on the left of our picture here. It's going to be close. I don't. It's a 1, 2, 3 because Vainstains gets it for Domo. Hincapie is 4.
Roubaix, we had a bad day as a team in general, but the team was super strong in Flanders and Gamble-Alvegem, and the guys that we have are class riders, so I'm not worried about who we have. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 more guys.
He goes with Johan's car to Van der Poel. Stefan, you go with Johan's car, first one.
Funny thing is that, like, after the race, there's like this big circus going on behind me.
You put my rain bag in the truck for Camembert?
You know, everybody gets back, showers, pack the cars. Okay, who's going where? Okay, this bag goes here, this bag goes there. Okay, you get in this car goes, you know, to Belgium, this car goes to the airport. Yeah.
See you in Amsterdam.
Yeah, or Dunkirk.
Over the years, I've become a lot more comfortable here in Europe. And yeah, I miss home, but it's not like the early days when, you know, I was just counting the days to go home. Now it's, you know, I really enjoy living over here, and it's a lot different than the United States, but it's a nice different.
Watch the movie?
Hello, Master.
Hello, man.
Hello.
Oh, hello, man.
Hello, man.
Stefan's trying to turn albino.
No, not albino. I just want to prove that I'm a pure Norwegian blonde Viking.
It's your life, you know. You have to like it more than anything.
Step on this. Can't do this. It's like a portable gym.
I don't know you.
Usually only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because I don't want to get too big, you know?
I got my own little coffee maker and stuff. You gotta have one thing that you can make your own. The classic thing is all the guys give me shit about it. They'll all secretly come by when nobody's looking.
Coffee rigs?
It's just like taking a little piece of home.
$7 kilometers to the bottom of the San Nicolai. Good job, Christian. Come on, very good,
I've been riding bikes since I was 4 years old. It's not that complicated, but it starts to get kind of complicated when you're going 60 miles an hour down a hill.
Seen guys go head on into cars, you go off the road, crashing cobbles, puncture. Yeah, I just had a bit of a crash. A bit of liquid on the kneecap there. It should be right. It's nearly the end of the classics.
The first thing we want to do after a crash or an injury is to start riding again.
Good job, Christian, good job! Good job, Christian, good job! 1 minute! 1 minute!
This is my dream. I live in my dream.
You have to be a little crazy about the whole thing. You have to love it. If you're a couple of weeks or a couple of months out of it, you miss it already.
Naturellement, de la part des organisateurs, du public français, des journalistes européens, il y avait un phénomène de curiosité pour cette équipe américaine qui a fait des bonnes performances dans le Tour de France, mais je crois qu'avec US Postal, une marche supplémentaire est arrivée parce que l'équipe US Postal s'est un petit peu européanisée en prenant un directeur sportif européen et plusieurs coureurs européens qui possèdent la vraie culture du Tour de France, du cyclisme européen. Et je crois que cet apport de la culture du cyclisme européen, de Johan Brunel en particulier, a été déterminant pour faire progresser l'équipe américaine US Postal. Et ça n'est pas une surprise pour moi de constater qu'une équipe américaine telle que US Postal aujourd'hui est comparable à une grande équipe européenne dans son comportement, mais avec un champion d'exception qui est Lance Armstrong. Elle est parvenue au succès 2 années consécutivement. Le Tour de France, vous savez, c'est presque 100 ans d'expérience. Les coureurs européens, les équipes européennes ont les acquis fondamentaux de cette expérience. Et c'est quelque chose qui manquait un peu aux équipes américaines. Aujourd'hui, les choses sont à jour.
You couldn't ask me to be any more motivated for this race. I love the country, I love the region, I love the race. It means it's a special event.
We have a great team here with Lance and Christian and Cedric and Nekimov and Chechu. We have a really super squad, and I think we can do a really good job tomorrow.
When Lance sets a goal to win something, all the competitors should watch out. So he's given us the word, Amstel gold. So we're going to be there to back him up, see if he can win it.
I think we have never had such a strong team like we are having here. But it's very important that a race like this, especially when it's raining, first of all, that we do it like as a team race, that we don't have individuals, that we ride as much as possible in the front. Benoit, you stay from the start with George, and Cedric from the start with Lance. We know that we have guys that can win the race, so I want the 100% effort from the whole team. So guys, we see the peloton is already in different groups. It's going to be the whole day very important that we ride in the front, because it will happen any time. Everybody in the front.
Amstel Gold is a very nervous race from the beginning until the end, because they always hit small villages with a lot of people on the road. So everybody is exciting about the circus. A lot of corners and roundabouts, and because of the wind and the rain, they are riding in echelons, and that makes it very dangerous. They have to pay attention, so it's a nervous race.
That's a good situation for us now. We have George and Chechu in the front here in the group with more than 3 minutes on the bunch. So George and Chechu, 7 minutes. 7 minutes on the bunch. 7 minutos.
7 minutes. Hey, this is serious, eh?
So, perfect, guys. Perfecto, eh? Muy bien. Venga, venga.
It's good for a guy like Lance to have riders of the caliber of George and Eki alongside with him, because tactically in a race, if George Hincapie gets into a breakaway, that takes the pressure completely off Lance, because it forces all the other teams to chase.
So Lance and Cedric and Christian, this is what's left from the peloton. We have 3 guys here, and George and Chechu up front, so we are in a perfect situation. Eh? Christian and Cedric, make sure that we always keep Lance as good as possible in front. And Lance, you have to wait and gamble. Eh?
Lance Armstrong on the attack now with Eddie Mazzolini.
But it's quite strange the way he's going off the front right now, Phil, because I don't think he actually wanted to attack. He was in a leading group of riders, and it was as if they almost just let him ride off the front.
So for the moment, it looks good. The guy who is with Lance, he also works together with him, so that's also a good sign.
This is the chaser now coming along, and I would say that's around about 15 seconds just now.
Decker is coming back to you and Mazzolini now. He's like 50 meters behind you.
3 riders in the front group now. Decker has joined Lance Armstrong and Eddie Mazzolini, so that's going to be good for this Armstrong group, because behind, Rabobank won't chase.
Armstrong really is riding like a man possessed. No obvious tactic other than to get out and give himself a real hard workout, and he's hurt Mazzolini.
The thing that always amazes me, Phil, about Lance Armstrong is he picks his points in the season. He comes out to test himself to make sure he's on course for the Tour de France.
Lance Armstrong putting on a fine show here and showing us, I think, Paul, that we are indeed seeing a man preparing for the Tour de France.
2 kilometers to the bottom of the Kouwberg. How are you?
You think you can drop him on the Kouwberg, or is he strong?
This is a superb piece of cycling by the American Lance Armstrong, and he's been called and joined by Eric Decker.
Lance, play it cool, eh? Play it cool, eh? Remember, eh? They need a victory in Amsterdam Gold Race a lot more than we do. That's a big advantage for us. Lance, Decker is getting nervous, eh? And De Roy also, eh? They're really very nervous.
Now this is Johan Brunel here, the young manager of the US Postal Service's team that Lance has a lot of respect for. A few words of wisdom. Unfortunately, I can't hear what he's saying.
It would be interesting to know what he's going to tell him right now.
Lance, you have 40 seconds on Mazzolini and 1 minute and 10 seconds.
1 minute and 10 seconds on the group of Museo, but for the final, the last kilometer, stay in his wheel, eh? Don't come out of his wheel. Remember 99, eh? You can beat him like that.
Now this is going to be a most intriguing final kilometre now.
But let's not forget that just behind us we've got Serge Baguet, who is absolutely boring down on these guys. And the last check we had, in fact, was at 20 seconds, and here he is now.
He's under the kilometre to go. It's going to be quite dramatic. And the other 2 are going slower and slower.
This is almost a track sprint, a match sprint against these 2 on the front. Decker looking over his shoulder. He's keeping over to the far side. Decker starts the sprint from first position. Armstrong's coming.
Well, Decker has been forced to lead out now. This is a perfect occasion for Lance Armstrong. Armstrong, I think, although he's dodging around the back, he would have come by now. He is not going to get round Eric Decker.
Decker wins the koers.
And Lance Armstrong second again, but quite honestly should be happy with that because his form is coming.
Hallo. Yeah. Yeah. George and Chechu were in there. It was a big group, it was a good group with Schmil, with Petito, with George. So that nobody had to work in the peloton, and then when the group was caught, there was only 37 guys left at the end, with 5 guys from us. And then Lance attacked, and it was finished. Yeah, he's in good shape. The team was very good. I mean, we had a good team also. Here was Eki, George, Chechu, Victor Hugo, Cedric, Christian, Benoit, Lance. 8 good guys, eh? Of course. No, we rode the perfect race. That's not just Rabobank was stronger. That's all.
Close. Yes.
Oh man, the next month is crazy. We go a lot of travel, fly all around, look at courses, train hard. The good news is my family finally arrives next week. See them on Wednesday for the first time in seems like 2 months. So that'll make things easier. But now we do our regular boot camps.
The end of the first racing period of Lance, but it's also like the start of the real Tour de France preparation, and the fact that he's in such a good shape to start these training camps is a very, very positive thing to know.
And in the race, how far is this?
A lot of athletes in the old school, like myself, when we raced to reach fitness. Lance and his team train for specific goals, and I think that's the difference, and I think maybe 1 or 2 of the older fashioned teams have maybe not quite figured that out yet.
I think the easiest would be this: go back to Breze.
We're in Breze?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Here.
Oh yeah?
And then this yellow road?
That's the biggest.
It's a small one, eh?
That's too big, yeah.
Ça veut dire aussi qu'ils se sont compris pour travailler toute la première partie de l'année pour le Tour de France. Et ce qui m'impressionne beaucoup, c'est que ces 2 hommes, au mois de mai, au mois de juin, effectuent la reconnaissance presque complète du Tour de France.
Tout droit,
Ils reconnaissent les cols, les difficultés, avec beaucoup de professionnalisme. Ce sont les seuls qui font ça parmi les grands champions. Et c'est une des clés de la réussite de Lance Armstrong, c'est cette appréciation commune, partagée de la manière d'aborder le Tour de France.
You see the Fort Alamo back there?
The what?
Fort Alamo.
Yeah.
Western Village, it said.
This year is going to be a very tough year for us. The 3rd year in a row, we try to win a Tour de France, so that's something very difficult.
I mean, I know that getting back to those levels, getting back to the speeds that I've ridden the last 2 tours, if I can do that, then I'll be close. I'll be in the race. I'll be competitive.
When you have a teammate who can win the whole race, you want to join that. It's cycling is a team sport, and I feel like I'm a part of his victory.
My biggest value to this team is supporting Lance in the Tour de France. It's the biggest race in the world, and You know, if you can win the Tour de France, you can be at the back in every other race all year long, and your season's still been a success.
He knows that he will need all those guys in the month of July more than 100%. I mean, they cannot save 1% for themselves.
It goes beyond just making the 100% effort on your bicycle, making a 100% physical effort. We go a lot deeper than that, and I think it shows when we're working for him.
I've said this many times before, I don't need to be out here for money, I don't need to be out here for fame, because these things I don't really care about. But I do care about working hard and fulfilling the plan and the dream of being a competitive athlete, being a professional athlete. I mean, at the end of the day, it's me versus the other guys, and that's what makes me happy. That's what keeps me going.
Changes, just changes. 3 kilometers like that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's no snow right there. Eh? There's no snow right there. No. And then, it's avalanche. Yeah. What, Ron, I think I want to ride a little more, you know? Why don't you do another 10 kilometers of uplift? I'll go down 10K and come back. Pay attention, huh? 10K. That's what it takes to win the Tour. What? Training in this weather. Nobody sees that. Hey, you know what? When the soup is good, all is good. Hello? Hello? Den er kort.
That was such an inspiring doco. I remember when I watched that back in 2001. I just come back from France watching Lance race the Tour and saw Lance in person, etc., coming up the flight in the mountains, and just seeing in my head, thinking, fuck, what shit are these guys on? They're going so quick, you know. It's just an awe of how hardcore they ride and the money behind everything and the machine, you know, this Nike propaganda machine. Nike only backs, you know, hardcore juice heads. They don't want punters. They want fucking stallions. They want winning racehorses, not some pony who's nice. So it was a great eye-opening thing for me to see that whole machine going on there. And professional sport essentially is aggressive exercise funded by money with intention to make more money. Aggressive exercise funded by money to make more money. And that's fine, I understand that. It's entertainment, it's business, it's cutthroat. But when I remember, I used to say to people who believed in Lance, I said, yeah, well, Lance is a good rider, but obviously he's on the hot sauce, he's on the gas. People are like, what? And people just look at me like, you're a hater, you're jealous. I said, man, I'm not a hater of Lance. You know, I love watching Lance, I love the cadence, I love the mentality. Come back from cancer to become Tour de France champ 7 times. Yeah, that was inspirational. Take it or leave it, it's inspirational. When your team drops you, when confidence drops you, and then you come back and smash everyone, that's an inspirational story. And with jugs or not, that's just inspirational. But it was interesting when people flagged me for 11 years until Lance actually came out and said, yeah, I was on the gas all along. Really cool. He said, hey, you're doing right, I was actually right. It was all the people doing all that shit back in 2000, 2001 onwards. I mean, some cyclist guys I knew locally were really like, some people just didn't want to talk to me anymore. Because when I said that Lance was on the gas, their illusion was so destroyed. They were like, I just have to get Harley out of reality. But that's pro sport. That's the top, man. And if you want the sponsors to back you and to give you shit, then you got to be winning shit. And to win at the top of any sport where there's big money, you need some big pharmacological advantages. And there's plenty of doctors out there who can help you out, get on the good shit, do it safely, do it effectively. That's pro sport. If you're not willing to dope, you won't cope at the top. Simple as that. Take it or leave it. Go watch NFL, NBA, AFL, rules, football. It's all the same, mate. World Cup soccer. Full natty bra. I don't think so. There's even people on fucking YouTube doing steroids and shit to get big muscles and stuff like that. You know, surgeries and denying surgeries and stuff like that. Anyway, it's just a crazy world. I don't have judge or negativity of people who dope. I understand it's a professional choice. I wish the world wasn't so cutthroat. I wish we didn't have to take risks like that, but that ain't going to change. 27,000 kids today will die in Africa. Syria. The middle is going to Syria, man. It's a fucking crazy world. Crazy world. Don't have more kids. Let's just fix what we've got now. Go vegan, carb the fuck up. Road to Paris. What a great doco that was. Timeless.